Not everything at the grocery store that appears healthy actually is. This is part 2 of my series where I'm sharing 10 additional foods that may appear healthy, but actually aren't. And of course, I'll give you better alternatives so that you can make a healthier choice. If you're new here, I'm Ryan. I'm a full-time PA, physician assistant, and working mom. I love making videos all about health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, and incorporating those into having a crazy jam-packed schedule. Make sure you like, subscribe. I would love to have you follow along. Let's dive into our 10 foods. The first food I want to share, actually beverage, is fruit juices. Oftentimes, fruit juice gets marketed or thought of as being so healthy because it has the word fruit in it, when a lot of these are actually just jam-packed with so much sugar. Oftentimes, these fruit juices have added sugars, so we're getting even more additional sugar than what would have been in that fruit alone. The second problem with fruit juice is that they're stripped of all of that fiber, making our blood sugar rise very quickly and consuming more calories without having us feel full. A better alternative to fruit juice is just having the real fruit. This is going to contain all of that fiber and nutrients. For example, if we have an orange, that'll help fill us up because of that fiber. And in a small orange, there's about 9 grams of natural sugar. But compared to 1 cup, 8 ounces of orange juice, that is going to have very minimal to no fiber. And 1 cup of orange juice is about 20 to 23 grams of sugar per cup, which is so much. Again, kind of making our blood sugar rise a lot quicker. So really, it's best to stick to that whole real fruit whenever possible. The second food that I want to share are crackers and pretzels. Crackers and pretzels are often very processed. They are typically made from flours that have been refined. These are very low in fiber typically and lack a lot of nutrients. A better alternative to crackers and pretzels is maybe some air pop popcorn, some roasted chickpeas, some vegetables and hummus. Or if we want crackers, make sure that you're getting a high fiber, whole grain cracker choice. The third food is another beverage, and these are smoothies. And I'm talking about smoothies that are store-bought or pre-made or like smoothie shops. Oftentimes, smoothies get just this healthy label on it when we have to use a lot of caution when we're not making that smoothie ourselves. Smoothies can be jam-packed with so much added sugar if we're not careful. Lots of syrups, sherbets, ice creams, yogurts with added sugar, again, juices. These smoothies can really give us so much added sugar with minimal fiber and nutrients if we're not careful. A better alternative is to make your own smoothie at home without any added sugar. So this can be with some fruit. I like to add spinach or kale. You could add some Greek yogurt and some protein powder and whip up that healthy smoothie for yourself in minutes. The fourth food that I want to share are sugar-free candies. Now, when people are trying to avoid candy and sugar, sometimes they pick the sugar-free candies, which are not healthy by any means. Sugar-free treats are still so processed, don't have any nutrients, and oftentimes have an artificial sweetener added to it, which really can wreak havoc on our hormones and our GI systems. So a better alternative to sugar-free foods is just having natural sugar from fruits if we want something sweet, or if we really want some sugar or a treat, having a little bit of real sugar in moderation and having those few and far between, eating the majority of our foods coming from those real, whole, minimally processed or not processed foods the majority of the time. I personally allow myself sugar and treats here and there, but again, eat that pretty clean nutrition 90% of the time. The fifth food is frozen yogurts. Yes, these are oftentimes lower in fats than traditional ice cream, but they can have so much extra added sugar. A better alternative to having frozen yogurt is having a yogurt that is high in protein and low in that added sugar. My favorite is Siggi's with some fruit, some frozen fruit. I love frozen blueberries on my yogurt. Or you could make your own ice cream out of frozen bananas. I actually have an amazing recipe for that, my healthy cookie dough shakes that we have every night. It's so good. Check it out. All right, we're halfway done. The sixth food is low-fat foods. Removing the fat out of foods typically means that other things have been added to that food, such as sugars, starches, or other artificial ingredients for flavor, which is not often going to be healthier. A better alternative is actually just to have the regular fat options, but in moderation. Make sure that we're watching that serving size on those higher fat foods. The seventh food is hazelnut spreads. I'm gonna name names, Nutella. The problem with these hazelnut spreads is there is so much added sugar. In 2 tablespoons of Nutella, there is 19 grams of added sugar in that small amount. That is as much added sugar as a small bag of M&Ms. A healthy alternative is just to stick with the plain, regular nut butters. Peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, without any additional oils or added sugars. My 8th food is another beverage, and these are bottled teas and lemonades. Oftentimes people think that tea and lemonades are healthier than sodas, when in reality they're really not. This is because they're oftentimes loaded in added sugar, or if they're sugar-free, those artificial sweeteners. For example, in a 20-ounce bottle of Minute Maid lemonade, there is 67 grams of added sugar. That is nearly the same as what's in a 20-ounce bottle of soda. In a 16-ounce bottle of Snapple tea, there is 40 grams of added sugar. These all contain way more added sugar than the average adult should be consuming in one day, all found in one beverage. A better alternative is just to make your own unsweetened teas, and you could infuse your water with lemon without that added sugar. The 9th is gluten-free foods. Unless someone has celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, gluten-free doesn't always mean healthier. Oftentimes these pre-made, packaged gluten-free foods are very highly processed with minimal nutrients and fiber. A better option is just to focus on naturally gluten-free foods, such as quinoa, brown rice, sweet potatoes. These are going to give our body all of those nutrients that we need and that fiber to help stabilize our blood sugars and keep us full for longer. The last food that I want to share are salads. Greens and salads can be a super healthy food, but oftentimes the word salad is not, depending on what is put in and on it. We have to be really cautious on those toppings, such as the cheese, bacon bits, croutons, dressings, dried fruits, like I talked about in my last video. A better alternative for your salad is having a base of greens, then load it up on colored vegetables, adding some lean proteins, maybe some beans, fresh fruit such as berries, and then making your own dressing for the sides, such as olive oil with balsamic vinegar. I really hope this video helps you make some healthier nutrition choices. If you missed part 1 of this series where I talk about 10 additional foods, make sure you check that out next. I'll put that link right here. That's going to be all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.